What's up, YouTube? It's your man CJ, aka the High Value Nurse, checking in once again, back with another live. This is the second day in a row. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Check in, check in, check in. Did not tell y'all I was going live. I just did it. Uh, so what's up, Swin? Swin, I don't know if you heard the audio yesterday, but Swin, shoot me an email, man, so I'll get your number, bro, so we can chop it up. Yeah, man, I'm happy to be back. Happy to be back. I'm just sitting here waiting on my food for lunch tonight. Yeah, man, I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. But anyway, first of all, let me start this off by saying I want to give honor to God and Jesus, who's the head of my life. And yeah, I want to start off by saying that I couldn't do nothing without God. So I just wanted to first say that. What's up, Dr. Robotnik? What's cracking? Okay. So I titled this 3 more years of long-term care. I think that's what I titled this. Yeah, I think that's what I titled it. And you know, and again, I may in the state that I'm in, I may feel different in about from I could feel different next month, next week. Um, I could feel different in about 30 days, 90 days. But this is the time frame I'm giving myself because I have a plan. I'm putting the plan into motion. So the stream is called 3 More Years of Long Term Care. That's the timeline I'm giving myself. Now, um, as we all know, life is unpredictable. Um, you can never truly predict what's going to happen because I was supposed to start school in January. I wasn't going to tell anybody, but I was just going to do it. But then um, my brother dying, that happened, and it kind of just threw all my plans back. So, with that being said, um, I'm giving myself before I jump into something like school again. I'm really giving myself time to to get my head okay, to get my head together before I make a commitment like that to school. Before I make an investment like that to school, because once I'm in, I'm in. Once I'm in, I'm in. Um, and first, I don't know if any of y'all in the like outside of the Midwest celebrate this. It's called Sweetest Day. I want to say Happy Sweetest Day to all the ladies. Fellas Day. I mean, not Fellas Day, but fellas, what's up? I'm not saying Happy Sweetest Day to y'all, but Sweetest Day. I think I don't know if it's a Michigan thing or if it's a Midwest thing, but it's pretty much supposed to be like Valentine's Day for guys. But me and my girl, we celebrate for both. You know what I'm saying? When we do it for both of us. So we ain't really tripping. We don't really. Plus we celebrate. It's it's thing in Ohio. Shout out to Michael. Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. Um, it's a crazy thing. But yeah, so y'all celebrated in Ohio too. Okay. But yeah, so everybody out for Sweetest Day. They like, what you doing for Sweetest Day? I said, I'm going to work. Me and my girl, we celebrate Sweetest Day more than the average couple. We, almost every day is Sweetest Day for us. So yeah. Um, you said you inspired me to become an LP, and I've been watching your videos a lot. Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all, man. I really want to, start doing YouTube videos again, cause I had to. I had to take some time and get my, get myself together with that whole situation. But yeah, man. But I'm giving myself. I think I'm gonna go in a few minutes because I'm gonna take y'all in with me to get my order. But I'm giving myself 3 years because and long term care because long term care, man. Even with I've been a nurse almost 5 years, um, and long term care has changed so much. It's not even funny. Um, it's changed so much because I started off in long term. I really used to like long term, and parts of me still do like long term. But as you continue this nursing journey and continue this, this whole thing, you start to see different things, and it's just like I want y'all to understand something, and I'm not trying to discourage anybody from going into the nursing home because nursing home you can get a bag in a nursing home, and I definitely encourage you to put in the work and get a bag in a nursing home. I haven't worked in a hospital yet, but y'all gotta understand when it comes to a lot of these nursing homes, I can't speak for every one of them, but when it comes to a lot of them, it's all about money and it's very ghetto. I'm gonna just keep it real. When it comes to most of these nursing homes, and I'm about to get out and take y'all with me into the thing, it's all about money, and it's all about that money, and it's very ghetto. I'm not gonna lie, most of them are. I ain't gonna say all. I can't say all, but most of them are. Now, where I work at, you got your typical problems, you know. But it's just like I can get my money up. I can get my way there. I can get my money up there. I don't really be having any issues, you know. But how you doing? Gotta pick up for Chris.
Excuse me, 1801, please.
Hold on, guys. All right, pick up my stuff. I know it's super ghetto. Can I get a that pineapple Arizona, please? Yeah, thank you.
No problem. 19 even, okay?
But I'm used to it. I get my way. I get paid good money. It's just, but after a while, I get tired.
Coming right up.
Okay.
I'll put 56 on.
See, I took the SCN and see.
Yeah.
I do highly recommend y'all study for it. Do what y'all gotta do. But I don't know, man. Long term care
Anything
changed
else
a
for you?
lot because I don't know if it was because of
Okay.
C-19 or because of the pandemic that caused it. I don't know if it was because of C-19 and the pandemic that caused it, but like now, a lot of these places are taking anybody off the street. Um, Patients have been so disrespectful. Don't get me wrong. It's not like the staffing are all angels, but it's been getting crazy because when I first got in long term care, it was for older people who couldn't do anything for themselves. Now, when you go to long term care, you got people that can pretty much do stuff for themselves and really don't need anything but somebody just to handle their medication. That's not long term care material. That's more so nursing. I mean, that's more so group home material. You know, assisted living material, not nursing home material. And it's just like if the money wasn't so good. And don't get me wrong, I don't hate my job. Most of the time, I enjoy my job because I got cool staff. You know, a lot of the residents, they long term, they are good for the most part. But I think it's just time to move on. So I'm in nursing school now, but my wife is nervous that it's a field dominated by women. What can I do to make her know I love her? Say another comment so I can read it. You said your wife is scared because it's a field dominated by women. Just tell her you ain't worried about the women. You worried about that bag. Who cares? Let your wife know that you love her. You know, reassure her that, and I think it's a natural thing to maybe feel a little jealous because you are working with women, but you just gotta let her know that, I'm not here for none of that. I'm here to get this bag. I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna tell you something, bro. It's just another woman, bro. It ain't nothing special about it. Especially if your wife is a good woman. I won't even trip on that. Tell her not to trip on that, but and assure her. Just make sure you tell her, like, babe, you ain't gotta worry about none of that stuff. I'm here to get this paper. I'm here to change our lives so we can have a better life. You know what I'm saying? Can Yeah, just let her know, bro. Just let her know, man. It ain't even. It ain't even. She ain't got a trip. Thank you. Just let her know. But no, you good. But just let her know she ain't got a trip. But I think that's probably a natural thing, though, with a lot of women, because it's probably something new for her. She know how females are. Females are the thirstiest they've ever been in 2023. You know what I'm saying? They see a man working hard. They see a man who's a nurse. It's inevitable um, that they gonna try to approach and all that kind of stuff. But it's just, but you just play it off, bro. You ain't, especially if you got a good wife. You're not sweating that. That's just, man. Coochie come a dime a dozen, bro. If you got something that's real, you ain't gotta worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Let her know that you took vows in front of God. You don't plan to break those vows. That's all. She'll be all right. She'll be all right. But I'm proud of y'all dudes, man. That's in nursing school right now. Y'all get it. Y'all continue to get it because it's out here. But I just want y'all to understand something when it comes to, like I said, the long-term care field. You are going into you are going into the drama. I'm gonna just keep it real. You going into the drama. You going into situations to where you dealing with attitudes. You dealing with some of the worst characteristics. You're dealing with people who have some of the worst character traits, some of the worst characteristics, because for some reason, that is what nursing homes attract. And I've talked to several people. I've talked to several nurses. I've talked to several CNAs. And, they have all confirmed that it's like that. You dig? So, man, it's 24 y'all in here. Can I get 24 likes, please? I would greatly appreciate it. To help me out a lot. But we still back to business. You feel me? I left for a bit, but we still got to get to the money. But but yeah. But I'm giving myself 3 years as my max. I was gonna go back to school in January. And like I said, I had it all planned. I had it all set up. I was ready to go. But it just is not a good time right now. You know what I'm saying? And I had to make sure that, I'm good, mentally, physically, spiritually. And, I gotta make sure I just, as a man, let me tell you something. One thing that I've learned throughout this whole thing, as men, when we deal with grief, as hardworking men, fully on God, because a lot of people rely on vices like drugs and alcohol, and what I'm saying, being promiscuous and all that stuff. And I'm highly against that, because none of that, it don't stop the pain. You dig what I'm saying? It don't stop the pain. And as men, when we go through loss, when we take loss, when we take grief, what I'm saying, we truly have to take it one day at a time. We have to take it one day at a time, because the world don't stop, and that's a fact. It don't stop. You have to stay prayed up. You have to rely. You have to keep your mind on Jesus, because it just don't stop. That peace, because he gonna give you a peace that you can't understand. Like, I have peace. Yeah, it's times I get sad, but I have peace because I keep my mind focused on Him. But like I said, I just wanted to make sure that I was straight. I gotta make sure I gotta take care of my people. I gotta take care of the women in my family. Make sure women in my family good, because that's what men do. That's what real men do. Take care of the women in your family, because they gonna take care of you when you need them. So, I'm taking this time to, save up more money, because when I go into school, I'm gonna be all in. You dig? I'm gonna be all in, and I'm gonna be grinding. Like, so that's where 1 year counts. I'm giving myself another year of leeway, just in case, something crazy happens. So, like, my 1 year is just not from now to September or October. So that's my 1 year. Boom, start school. If something happens, I'll give myself another year. And of course, life happens, but it is what it is. But that's just what I'm doing, because it's just time to move on now. So all y'all newbies, y'all need to jump in. You an LPN, and you young, you just graduated LPN school. I fully recommend y'all go, because y'all need to understand how to deal with those situations. You need to understand how to deal with families, and you need to understand how to deal with people, and you need to understand how to deal with some of the worst patients. And then when it's time for you to go into them hospitals, I'm predicting that you will have an easier time, because you used to having 20-something patients. From what I'm hearing in the hospital, especially if you work in like a high specialty like ICU, you're giving like 1 to 2 patients max. Of course they're gonna train you. Of course they're gonna show you how to do that, and take advantage of that. Well, not take advantage, but they're gonna show you how to be a properly trained nurse and everything like that. But it's less that you have to deal with, in my opinion. But I don't know. I don't know how different it is versus working in the hospital. If you a nurse on here working in the hospital, and you worked in long term care, can you please give me your experience and let me know what it's been like? I'm saying, what will I study? Auntie Sherry, what's up, doctor? What's up, Dr. Sherry Watson? What do you mean, what will I study? Are you saying like what my specialty be? I want to get into the ICU. My goal in this thing is to at least learn how to take care of the sickest patient, so I can become more valuable in the market. Once that happens, what I'm saying, I want to slowly transition away from patient care, because yes, I'm a 100% believer in getting that bag. You get your BSN. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna get my BSN. I'm definitely gonna get my BSN for sure. Nothing else. What I'm saying? I'm gonna get that for sure. But I do slowly want to transition from patient care, because like I said, once I want to make great money with the least amount of time and the least amount of days. Like I said, there's people in California, what I'm saying, they making close to $100 an hour. $111 an hour, which adds up to $200,000 a year. without working any overtime. Family, I got more time to spend with traveling the world. I got more time to spend with my woman. I got more time to spend with my parents, and that's what it's becoming more about. Yes, the money is great, but I'd rather give me the most time. Give me the most time, and because you can always make money, but time you can't get time back. You can't rewind time. You can't reverse it. But do not get me wrong. If you are broke, you need to go to work. There are plenty. God do not like lazy men, bro. And ladies as well. If you are broke, go to work. Go to work. You need. If you don't work, you don't eat. Go to work. Grind it out. Do what you got to do. You feel me? Look at all these restaurants packed for Sweetest Day. But yeah, if you are broke, you need to go to work. You need to make it happen. You need to grind. You need to work your 60 hours a week until you get to a place to where, okay, now I can transition into something different, or I can transition into a business where I can work and spend more time with my family. Whatever your goals are your goals, but I'm just telling y'all how I feel. You dig? But like I said, long-term care is a beast, bro. It's a beast, but it makes you a better nurse. The place I work at, I wouldn't recommend a new nurse to start there because you ain't gonna really learn nothing. I'm gonna just be real. It's the place I work at is one of those places to where you need to know what you're doing. In most situations, you need to have good nursing judgment, and you gotta have patience, and you gotta have tough skin. You gotta have all that because you gotta expect the unexpected and all that kind of stuff. You gotta expect admissions coming at all types of the night with no communication. Where do you recommend I start working with a nursing home? If you're doing LPN school, yeah, I recommend you start off at a nursing home. I recommend you start off at a nursing home to where you're gonna get your experience. 100%, and I recommend you start off on day shift because you learn how to handle day shift. And I thought about, and I eventually am gonna transition back to days because I just like sleeping at my bed at night. I do, but as of now, working in long-term care, it's just too much that go on in long-term care to work days. Unless I did like an assistant living or something like that, and I knew the staff was decent, it would take a lot for me to go to days right now. But after the first, I probably won't be working as much. I'll probably be just, because I've been doing 5-day stretches. I am gonna cut back on that. Like I said, I don't ever want to work more than 5 days in a row at one time. What do you think about skilled nursing facilities? Well, that's pretty much what I'm talking about. Like, I think if you're an LPN and you, especially if you're new, I think it's good for you. I think you need to work there, get your skills up. But what I was saying earlier in the live, it's not the same thing. It's not the same. Like, even in 4 years, long-term care, skilled nursing has changed. At least in my area, they getting younger and younger. A lot of them, it's not even really with skilled nursing. You just really, you taking care of like drug addicts and homeless people. So I just think it depends. It's a case-by-case scenario. I don't think there's anything wrong with working in skilled nursing facility. That's what I do. That's where I work at. But it's all about what your personal goals are. Like right now, my personal goals is to stack as much paper as I can, travel as much as I can, start to prepare myself to go back to school and do the things that I need to do. Yeah, I used to say my nursing home is a homeless shelter with nursing NAs. Yeah, that's real talk. That's real talk. Like like most of them, like a lot. I would say 30, maybe between 20 and 30, probably 20 to 30% of the population of where I work at. It's not even nursing home material. Like, I got one lady who's in her 90s that's in better shape than 98% of the people in the coffee every morning. She's in her right mind. She does the old people stuff, but she's not on any really major medications or anything like that. She's in good shape. She walks every morning, gets up, get her coffee, let you know when she needs something. She's a she doesn't need to be there, but I understand sometimes that in certain situations that may be all you can afford, and I get it. But I just know she don't need to be there. That I do know. Because but like I said, it's just it's all about what you can do. Sorry if it get dark, y'all, because like it's really no street lights out here. And it get dark quick now, because we're about to head into the winter time, the worst season ever. I know some people that absolutely love the winter time. I do not like winter time. If it get too dark, let me know and I can stop the stream. But yeah, man. 3 years, so I plan to go back to school in September, October. Like I said, making sure everybody good, so I can jump into this thing, because I'm gonna keep it real, man. Like, you can live a good life, and like I said, it depends on what your goals are. You can live a good life, live a great life, working as an LP, and especially if if you single, or like if you're a couple, like if you're a married couple, or you got a girlfriend or boyfriend, and it's just y'all two together, you can live a very good life as an LPN. You know what I'm saying? Because the bag is there, the freedom is there, the flexibility is there. You know, especially if you had an opportunity to save and do everything that you need to do, you can live a very good life. But it's just when it comes to certain things, like when it comes to a lot of the work from home jobs, and if you want to work with the insurance company, it's like you're a little limited as an LPN. And once you get that RN, especially that BSN, there's so many doors that open up to you. So I'm saying this: if all you want to get is your LPN, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I know people who love being LPNs. I know people who love working in long-term care that wouldn't dream of doing anything else, and that is 110% okay. That is absolutely fine if that's the route that you want to take. What's up, Buttercream? Yeah. But yeah, so I would definitely highly recommend for y'all to get y'all BSN too, because you just got way more opportunities, and you got way more freedom, and way more, like, you think you got flexibility now as an LPN, you got way more flexibility as a BSN, bro. It's not even funny. Like, I've been looking into this. I've been talking to a lot of BSN nurses, registered nurses behind the scenes, and like, they just been telling me straight up what it's like CJ is, this, it's cool, it's good what you're doing, it's not wrong what you're doing, but like, if you want more flexibility and all that kind of stuff, I would highly encourage you to get your BSN. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do want to make it very clear, I'm proud to be a licensed practical nurse. I'm proud of being an LPN. I'm not one of them LPNs that's ashamed to say I'm an LPN. Nah, straight up and down, I'm an LPN. Straight up and down, I'm an LPN. I enjoy being an LPN. LPN is definitely changed the trajectory of my life. I don't down it. I never will. I never will. You know what I'm saying? But I just want more flexibility and more money for less time. And like I said, once I graduate and I do become an RN, I know, it's probably going to be like a year or so really with me training before I see a return on my investment. But that's cool, because like I said, once you're an RN or you're a BSN or whatever, you get so many opportunities to where you don't have to put so much on your body, demanding. You don't have to be involved with patient care. There's a lot of medical and billing companies that need RNs. A lot of insurance companies that need RNs. You can work in hospice. to where it's not pulling so much on your body. You could do that as an LPN too, though, in hospice. And this, like I said, there are work from home jobs, and I'm not a work from home person. I don't want to work from home. That's not my goal. My goal is to slowly transition away from patient care and do something, and just do something else. You know what I'm saying? To where I can have more time, and more money. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need to be making 400, 500,000 a year. That's not. I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? I can take care of my family with less than that. It'll be nice, and and if the Lord, if it's in the Lord's will to bless me with that kind of bread, then I'm definitely not gonna turn it down. But it is what it is. I just want to work to make sure that the people around me are taken care of, to where we don't want for anything. We are financially independent. Nobody's starving. Nobody's living check to check. None of that stuff. So man, I really hope tonight is better. Because last night was a beast. We had like 88, we had like 89 patients in the building. We only had 3 seniors last night. Oh my God. But see, and that's not a good scenario. But it's scenarios like that. Yeah, I'm on my way to work right now. But it's scenarios like that, that teach you how to handle things as a nurse, and because now you're dealing with seniors that are mad, they upset. You know what I'm saying? And now you got to figure out, okay, the staffing situation. Because here's the thing, you're going to be in messed up situations. That was a messed up situation. There's no way it should be 3 seniors in a building for 88, 89 patients. People call off without saying anything. But situations like that teaches you how to prioritize. It teaches you how to kind of politic. Because when you're dealing with seniors, they already tired. Their bodies is hurting. So it's just like, okay, you see the scenario. Nobody's coming in to help, blah, 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 blah. To me, as a nurse, if you're in a midnight situation, all we can do at that point is check and change and deliver water. Give out water. All that extra stuff, when you got 20-something patients, 28 patients as a senior, that's a wrap. Anybody to me as a nurse, when y'all doing like that, I say make sure you got your nursing stuff in order. Change who you gotta change, who you could change, and everything like that. And y'all just get through the night. Make sure these people dry in the morning. Make sure it ain't no mess or anything like that. By the time the morning come, we not getting nobody up that don't need to be up, and all that kind of stuff. All that getting people dressed and no. Not when you got 3 seniors that night. Well, what up? First name Brandon. What's up, my brother? What's going on? But yeah, we had 3 seniors with like 88, 89 patients last night. No getting up, none of that. And these people gonna be dry, checked and changed, and have water delivered. They gonna have their water, they gonna have their hydration, they gonna have their medication. They should gonna have to deal with that when y'all got more staff. You know what I'm saying? You just let them know. Just let them know straight up. Okay, my people got 20-some people apiece. I'm finna change who I can change and still do my nurse work. They gonna change who they gotta change. We gonna get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of that, we got admissions popping off and all that kind of stuff. So it's crazy. It's crazy, but that's the game. Yeah, no, 89 patients, bro. 80, I think we had 88. It's either 88 or 89, something like that. Yeah, between three seniors, you do the math. That's 20 something people apiece. No, this is a staff job, bro. Because a lot of these places, and see that's what I'm saying. I'm giving y'all the real. A lot of these places they trying to keep agency out the building to save money, bro. It's all a money game, bro. And I don't understand why a lot of people have a problem saying that. It is what it is. Yeah, 89 patients, bro. Between three seniors, you do the math. You got three seniors and two nurses, bro. It was wild, bro. It's a wild situation, and I don't ever recommend. Let me tell you something. I don't ever recommend y'all taking no assignment like that. You know what I'm saying? Only, and like I said, I really shouldn't even be saying it, but the only reason, you know what I'm saying? Because we started off with three nurses. One nurse had to go home, so it really would have been split with three. But one nurse had to go home. And we had, we had this, well, nobody coming in, so we had to do what we had to do. Luckily, I know the patients. You know what I'm saying? I know who need what first. I know how to prioritize. But it's not a good situation though, at all. And I wouldn't ever recommend anybody to do that. But sometimes those are the circumstances that you're left with because you really can't leave a building. You can't get a hold of anybody. So it is. I mean, it is what it is. And I know plenty of y'all nurses have been in those situations before. I've talked to nurses that have had the whole building to themselves with like 70, 80 people. Now that I won't do. Somebody got to come up in here. I'm not going to have a whole building to myself. Somebody going to come up in here, wake up, get up, DON. I will call the EMT. Like, it's not happening. That ain't happening. Now, last night we had to do what we had to do, but the two nurses. After that, one left. Come on, bro. It's so easy, man. Management. Now, I will say my assistant DON, she's dope. She definitely would have came in if it would have got really, really bad. She would have came in. If I would have been like, yo, you gotta come up here. But it wasn't. And again, don't do what I don't do. Don't do as I do. Do what I say. It's one of those type of things. But we knew the people. We knew. And then, like I said, at night the med pass is not as bad as it is on day shift. So we able to move the way we had to move. But we had to get a lot of things going. Missions is coming on the mission hallway. We dealing with behaviors and all that kind of stuff. So you gotta do what you gotta do and survive those next 8 hours when that nurse had to leave. You gotta do what you gotta do. But that's why I say long-term care teaches you how to be a resourceful nurse, a strong nurse. You know what I'm saying? But again, I definitely will recommend. Like I said, it's still a good career, even with the hard times. And like I said, what I'm going through right now, losing somebody on top of working in these conditions, that's probably why it's a little bit more irritating than usual. But it's still something that you can handle. It is. To where I can handle it. I wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't recommend people doing that though at all. But I know some of y'all work in way worse conditions than that. So, and I've talked to people that have worked in way worse conditions than that don't justify it, that don't make it right. Sometimes it is what it is. People still gotta get care. Sometimes you're left with crazy situations. I gotta get out of Michigan. I know I keep saying that for the winter time, but I have to leave Michigan for the winter time. I do not like this getting dark at 7 o'clock, bro. That is so crazy. I cannot stand. I've been in Michigan all my life. I do not like getting dark at 7 o'clock. That's cool. I might have to make a little mad dash somewhere. Just get away from maybe hit Disney World for a couple days or something. I don't know. for January for sure, but I'm trying to work on some things though. I got, because I definitely got to get away. Shout out to all y'all on here that's in nursing school doing your thing, man. I love to see brothers in school doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Just keep God first and stay consistent and stay persistent. You dig? You're gonna be alright. You're gonna be alright. It's so dark out here and it's in the boonies too, bro. Not the boonies from all the way, but it's in the boonies though, for sure. That's why a lot of people don't like coming out here. There goes some light. He got them high beams on right now. And it's the snow, bro. Like, that's why I said, let me just run it up. Cause like I said, it's gonna be dipping out a lot. It won't always be a cruise, but even if we dip into Florida or Texas for a few days, just to get in the sun somewhere. But I know Texas be getting kind of cold too in the wintertime. Texas be getting kind of cold too. You know what, man? Weekend cruises might be appropriate now. It just depends because, like I said, I don't know, bro. I don't know if I could do week. Maybe 4 days. Like I said, if I just really want to get away, I could do like a 4-day joint, area of the week or something like that. Work really hard, do like a 4-day cruise, come home, get out. And that's just on some. I'm really trying to just like, relax. Like I need to relax because you're doing a 4-day cruise. You obviously gonna hit the same ports, Bahamas or Mexico. So it's not really. That's a situation where you're trying to go on the ship, have a good time, eat some good food. You know what I'm saying? Listen to some comedy for a couple days, and and then them be the booze cruises. So you gotta deal with all that. The weekend cruises, the 2 days, nah. I don't know. I would at least have to do 4, like a Thursday through Sunday type joint. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, like a Thursday through Sunday type gig. And I could do that, pretty regularly on the wintertime goal. On the wintertime tight on the tip, you know what I'm saying? Because 4 days, that's nothing, And then, especially depending on what day of the week you leave, because I know Virgin, they do 4-day cruises, and they leave on Wednesday, fly out on a Tuesday, you lit. Because them prices be very good on a Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? I wish more cruise lines start leaving on a Wednesday. Because them Tuesday flights be lit. They be dope. People barely be on them. They be low priced. Get there Tuesday, it's not busy. Hotels be straight, ain't busy. Come in, do your 4 days, boom, go home, get back to work again. Yeah, they are. The flying to Florida, like the flights have been pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? So like 4-day things, 4 day, like when I get to where I want to be, like 4 days are gonna become pretty common. Like maybe 1 4-day and then a 7-day out the month, because it's about living. You dig? It's about living. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna work, but you gotta live too. But it just depends though, especially in the wintertime. Now when a weather break, I can just go back to my monthly, cruises, or maybe like a monthly 10-day or something like that when the weather break. But during this wintertime, it's gonna Delta gonna be like, Lord willing, Delta gonna be like, hey, okay, cool. So we finally hit the $3. What you mean? You talking about in gas? That's because people getting. That's because y'all governor. That's because y'all governor down there got cats leaving. The Santas got niggas shook right now. Shoot, that's what it is for sure. For real. Santas got niggas shook. But y'all, I'm here, so I appreciate y'all rocking with me for this time, and I love y'all. Y'all keep God first. I'm gonna holler at y'all in a minute. Peace.